Hola preciosas and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be very open and vulnerable about a topic that I've been wanting to touch for a while, which is anxiety. And I'm going to be talking today about what I felt and how I was able to cope with this as well. So I'm very excited to share about this. It might be something that could possibly help you with what you have going on if you're also dealing with anxiety or something similar to that. All right, so I want to start off with talking about what I felt before I got the news of my PCOS. I knew something was going on. I was going through a quite a few shifts in my personality that just didn't feel like myself. So I started experiencing a few things like social anxiety. I remember getting to a point where it was very hard for me to leave my house. I wasn't able to, like leave my house and just simply have fun with the people I love. I just had a hard time doing stuff that I enjoyed. And what kept me away from leaving my house was thinking that if I left my house, something bad could possibly happen to me. It was always about someone wanting to harm me. Okay. And it is a terrible feeling. It is a terrible thing to go through. At that point, I would say it was end of 2024, all 2025 that I was dealing with all of these things, ups and downs, and I wasn't really seeing my family as much. I wasn't visiting my mom, and if they wanted to meet up, they would have to come to my house because I wasn't open to leaving because of the fear that something would happen. If my sister wanted to see me and maybe meet up to go to the mall or whatever, I would ask her to come get me and so we could both go together. It was that bad, and she's younger than me, so imagine how terrible that request was. Obviously, she would do that because, I mean, she loves me, I'm her sister, but, it still wouldn't be, I don't know, it wouldn't be something that I would ask for in the past? So it really got bad all 2025. I had made so many shifts, so many changes in my routine. So I started doing things like, okay, if I go to yoga in person, let's find a way to do yoga online. If I go to class or school in person, let's try to find a way so that I can just do this online. So I started making so many tweaks in my routines so that I could adapt to my situation of not wanting to go anywhere. And so I started doing that. Obviously, it was bad for me. I wasn't able to truly see that at the moment. My brain wanted to keep me safe. It wanted to keep me in that little bubble where I was comfortable and where I was in peace and that no one else would ever be able to disturb. So I had a hard time even seeing my boyfriend. Like he would come visit me instead of us going out and doing stuff together that we would usually enjoy, like maybe going out for dinner or maybe going out to dance. He loves salsa and we would go to dance classes every now and then. I got to a point where I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't tell him about my fear of social anxiety. I would just kind of like let him know that I just wasn't feeling my best, like my hope, I don't know, maybe I wasn't feeling super motivated or I was just getting close to my period and things like that. So, yeah, it was pretty tough. It was pretty tough to be able to socialize, and even worse, it was even more tough to connect with the people that I love, my family, friends, boyfriend, stuff like that. So, I got the news of PCOS around August of last year, and that's when I got the news that when you have PCOS, a lot of women, if not the majority of women, deal with mental health issues. So it's anxiety, depression, very irritable as well, and I was also experiencing that, but I would say that the worst for me was the anxiety. I was in a loop that I couldn't get myself out of. I would always obsess with my thoughts and my feelings, and the more I would obsess about it, the more it would backfire, the harder it would actually be for me to get back to reality, right? Like if I would grab an Uber, I would be just thinking about this person maybe wants to do something to me. Maybe they're going to harm me. Maybe they're going to kidnap me. And it wasn't true. Like I was living in this terrible reality. It was my reality, and the more I would think about it, the more real it would feel to me. So it is so hard if you've dealt with anxiety, I'm sure that you know that it is really hard to truly shift out of that thought. It's very exhausting both mentally and emotionally. So I started shifting a few things. And this was way before my diagnosis. I'm going to talk about now how I coped with a lot of these things. The way that I started coping with this, and this was my strongest help, is God. All right, this rosary that you see here, I started reading the rosary every single night before bed, asking God for peace in my heart, asking God for peace in my mind, and obviously for peace in the world because that's what we need more of. And you guys have no idea how this shifted in so many ways. The way that I would go out and simply live my life. And I would come across people and I would think of God. And I would think God created us. God created us with the same amount of love. No one is here to harm anyone. I'm safe and He's with me. So every time I would go out, I would grab my rosary, and in my head, for some reason, it worked very well. I knew that He would be protecting me anywhere I would go. And that's how I felt, and that's how I still feel because I have a very close relationship to God. Exactly at the time when I was going through all of this, it was very hard for me to talk with my siblings or with my mom about what was going on. I don't think they've ever experienced anything like this, and if they have, they're probably like me, where I just keep everything to myself and I don't talk about it. So I didn't want to worry my mom with things. I went and really talked to her about it. So I started talking with God, and you don't necessarily have to do the rosary every night. Something that helped me a ton as well was journaling. So, what I would do would be okay, if I was going through an anxiety episode and having all these scary, terrifying thoughts in my head and soul, I would just feel it. All right. I wouldn't feel it all day. I would just give it some of my energy and attention to it. Have to allow it, not obsess over it. And then after that, I would just move forward. So, this thing here helped me to do that. I don't always talk to God in prayers um, out loud in my own room alone. Sometimes I also journal about it. And if you don't believe in God, that's totally fine. You can also journal about your feelings, journal about what's going on, and leave it all here. All right. And just move forward with it. Feel it, allow it, don't obsess over it, move forward. All right. It is hard. It wasn't easy. Sometimes it's still hard because when you have an episode like this, it's not like something is gonna shift like that. No, like you have to be very consistent and aware of what you're feeling and the way that you are taking all of that distress out. All right. Bible, it helped me a ton. Reading the Bible, reading more about God's history and all the things that He went through allowed me to think about someone else that was not myself. When I was going through these anxiety episodes, I would just focus on me. Then, when I started reading about the Bible, it completely shifted my attention from all of these miserable thoughts I had in my head to simply focus on someone else, on God. I was able to shift my attention and just focus on someone else. Like, it also helped me to focus on other people. I'd be like, oh, today I'm feeling like this. Okay, cool. Let me like allow it. Don't obsess about it and move forward. My boyfriend, what does he want to do today? Let's talk about that. Let's hang out. Let's do this. Let's do that. So slowly, little by little, I started leaving my house. I started feeling more confident with just being able to be around the people I love and show up properly because that's what I wanted. I wanted to show up for my family and my friends and my boyfriend in the right way, the way that they deserve to see me, right? So these were things that helped me to cope. Obviously, there's other things that also helped me. My mom helped me a ton. Every time I needed her, I would call her. I would not let her know that I was having an anxiety episode because I didn't want to worry her, but I would just listen to her voice. Listening to her voice would just give me so much peace and kind of like similar to God, just knowing that there's someone that loves me and protects me no matter where I am, where I go. She'll always be there. So, yeah, these are the things that have helped me a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video. I didn't want to make it super long. I wanted to be super straightforward with these things. And now that I know that I have PCOS, well, the story is different, right? I have changed a lot of things in my lifestyle. I'm still implementing these things because these will always live in my heart. And this is what got me through before I even got an answer of my PCOS. Now I also take supplementation, which also help a ton with mood and things like that. And I also did lifestyle changes, which I talked about in one of my videos that you can also check out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you in my next video.